We designed them, we built them, and then, after years of service, we condemned them. Nearly 200 years ago, steam locomotives were the workhorses of Britain, transporting people, livestock and goods from one end of the country to the other. And, still to this day, they continue to take visitors back in time, to the days when steam was the king of the railways. (1963). The winds of change are howling. Britain's railways are about to receive an overhaul. After 5 years in the making, the chairman of British Railways, Dr. Richard Beeching, unveiled the reshaping of British Railways. This plan would see many stations on the railway close, and the introduction to diesel-electric locomotives, spelling death to steam.
They took the decision to go over to diesel and electric traction rather late, I think, because the rest of Europe started from scratch and went generally for electric straight away after the war. We continued with steam, but then part way through decided to go over to modern traction, but didn't really seem to know what we were doing, because we carried on building steam engines to March 1960. I think Evening Star came out, which was 5 years after the modernisation plan was announced. And then there was an indecent haste to scrap them all. By 68, 50 years ago next year, then all the steam that they've been building was in yards being cut up.
For many steam engines, Barry Island Scrapyard, located in South Wales, would be the final destination. The worn-out engines were lined up, awaiting execution. With armies of diesels being manufactured, British Railways had wiped their hands of the iron horses for the last time. But the public weren't quite through with steam yet. Scrap merchant Di Woodham would be remembered for not scrapping steam but saving it. Over time, he sold over 200 engines to enthusiasts who would go on to restore them. While over 200 survived scrapping in this yard, thousands were less fortunate. 7714 is one of over 800 Class 5700 pannier tanks built. 16 survived. It is volunteers like Jason who keep her steaming.
I've been a volunteer now for 34 years, and of that, 30 of them have been on the footplate. Steam has something magical about it. I mean, there's a period of time, but they have a real character with the steam. You've got the fire, the heat of the fire, the steam loco, the whistle, and people just naturally are drawn to it. They're like living beasts, really. I remember as a young child being stood next to the Severn Valley Railway at a little crossing. On a Sunday we'd go for a walk and I'd be waving to the trains and waiting for the trains to go by. So yes, it's always been in my blood. It's a fantastic hobby. It's a great experience, and as long as my health is okay and as long as I maintain my qualification, then yeah, as long as I can do.
Once you've bought yourself a steam engine or two, you need a place to run it. In 1965, around 50 enthusiasts met up to discuss buying 5.5 miles of line from British Railways, leading to the formation of the Severn Valley Railway. The Heritage Railway is one of many across the United Kingdom, looking after many different classes of locos, including a rarity. Number 43106, an Ivert Class 4 Mogul. Total built, 162. Total survivors, 1. She was brought to the Severn Valley Railway and stands as the sole representative of the near-extinct Ivert Class 4s. You need 3 things to keep a steam engine going: money, manpower, and passion. Every volunteer and enthusiast swear to an unspoken oath to do all they can to preserve steam, whether it be through driving, repairing rolling stock, or maintaining the stations. But why? What reason do these people have to keep steam going?
I think that we've preserved the steam in Severn Valley Railway more or less for the heritage type of thing. I mean, say the youngsters had never seen a steam train, and they come along and see the steam coming out of everywhere, And it's like a living machine, isn't it? You know, it's something that lives, whereas a diesel actually is just like a tin box that makes a lot of noise. And we get a lot of the old people coming in and saying, I used to drive the steam trains, and it's nostalgia for them. So it's a bit of history for the children and a bit of nostalgia for the elderly people. We're very biased, actually. I love steam engines. I have a son that's 40 odd, but he loves diesels. But so it's just a different age gap, really. But I think it's the fact that steam engines, as I said before, you can see something moving, plenty of steam around. I'd like to see the fire in the firebox, the living machine.
The preservation of steam as we know it today is all down to the hard work carried out by volunteers and enthusiasts all over the country, and a nice Welshman, laying the rails for a new generation to be thrilled, intrigued, and in some cases startled by what is considered the closest thing to a living creature man has built. With regulators open and whistles blowing, the end of steam is far from over.